who's here. Right, I saw him videotape. I've known him for quite a few years. Actually met him through Strongman probably 10 years ago. But he said Ramunis is not here, little injury. Ramunis is very unpredictable, part of which, of course, contributes to his color.
Yeah, and we're the poorer for him not being here.
We are, in some ways, yes, we are. He's definitely entertaining. And when he misses big. When he bombs, he definitely bombs with big numbers.
So we kick off here with 201 kilos. And just to put this into context, Intigam Zairov, who leads the overall competition from the B group, so the leader in the clubhouse from what happened earlier today, 386, and of that 386, 211 came in the clean and jerk. So that's the initial target. We're opening up here on 201 with the Iranian, and this is Kamachali Ebrahimi on the shoulders.
Very studied recovery there. It's interesting because we've got Kurush Bagiri coaching, and then Hossein Reza today sitting farther back, sort of watching from the background. He had been the coach and is now, I believe, the president of the Iranian Federation instead. Is that right? I think it is.
You have the advantage of me.
Yeah, he definitely had been the coach, and I think
certainly
maybe by mutual agreement he moved on. The Iranian team, great production as far as numbers in weightlifting and performance levels, but some challenges as far as passing the doping control tests, to be blunt about it.
Yeah, if you look at their performance graph overall, it's very much like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So the bar going to 205, and interesting enough, this is Artem Ivanov. So very good on the snatch, but here on the clean and jerk coming in at 205. Now the interesting thing with that is that it is as planned, but if you take his namesake, or almost his namesake, Alexander, he's planning to come in at 210, and 210 with Sedov on 215. Now Sedov is going to need that 215 to catch up.
Yeah, no one's got a monstrous opener down in the clean and jerk. You know, we mentioned this earlier, the 180s that we saw as openers in the snatch, pretty big numbers. Not seeing that same level as far as openers in the clean and jerk.
Probably safe to say that Kalechki's world clean and jerk record of 232.
Yeah, I don't think Shimon should be sweating at this point. He can rest easy if he's watching. No need to worry. Well, power jerk always gets your attention when a guy does that. Normally, not normally, but most lifters split. One foot goes forward, one foot goes back. The object there is to lower your body. You've driven the bar to a certain height. Now the task is to get under it so you can lock it out overhead. He's going to split his feet to the side, known as a power jerk. If you went down in a full squat, it'd be a squat jerk, but he's only going to go to, say, quarter squat depth. Boom, figure out to the side.
So he gets a total of 390, which takes him to the top of the overall list. However, because of Zairov's 211, actually he's only at the moment 7th in the clean and jerk rankings. But the bar going to 210, so that 211 from Zairov of Azerbaijan, they're going to get to that very quickly. This is Pogosyan, who at the halfway stage, Pogosyan down in 13th place, but to be fair, Pogosyan from Armenia, a newcomer to this weight class, so we need to temper our expectations and not perhaps be over disappointed.
Yeah, he missed 175 twice in the snatch, fairly close misses, and that would have changed his ranking had he made them.
So let's see what he can do here in the clean and jerk. This would be 6 kilos up on his 85 kilo performance in Minsk. You would expect it to be more, but how easy will this opener be for him?
Boy, once again, really fast on the bar.
Quite a deep split. And his feet were rocking, but they were basically in line.
Yeah. That's to demonstrate that he's got the bar under control, get the down signal from the referees, return the bar to the platform, and then he will get their evaluation. 3 lights, 3 referees, needs at least 2 white lights to have the lift pass.
So Pogosyan with a 380 goes up into 6th place and 2nd in the clean and jerk. So set off now. Now again, he got an adjustment. It was 215, coming in at 210.
Yeah.
Probably sensible.
Yeah, Alexei Nee, the Kazakh coach, I mean, he knows his stuff in weightlifting.
So he's heading for 390. Posted 405 as his entry total.
405 is a big number in this class. Very wide grip for this jerk. Boom. Sometimes, a lifter who doesn't have great anatomical lockout, in other words, just the bones are not in the right position in the joints to lock out, will go to a wider grip. One of the risks there, of course, is that it makes it easier to dislocate your arm, and we saw that last night with the Armenian lifter.
Yeah,
Khachaturian.
The news about it is that the arm was put back immediately in the back room.
Not uncommon.
We saw him actually in the dining hall, at the late snack dining hall, and I won't say he'll be as good as new in a week's time, but he's done. Actually, he has dislocated that elbow before. So.
Oh, has he? Yeah, really. Yeah, record I know of is 3 for one lifter. Who is it? Can we make this a quiz for
this is the trivia going into a commercial break question, isn't it? Who's dislocated their elbow 3 times?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Zlatan, exactly right. Good for you. You moved to the head of the class. And his brother also dislocated an arm.
Well, I remember one in Risa, which was...
Yeah, no, jerk. That's right. Good memory. Yeah, 205 or something like that. Yeah.
So, Iran, 210. And this is a 9 kilo increase. So 383, this would bring him up to.
Now, psyched out. Interesting, he uses a modified dive style in the start. Dive style means that you just kind of descend, grab the bar, and then start the lift, as opposed to sinking down, establishing your grip very firmly, and then starting the lift. Sometimes, you'll get momentum, maybe partly physical, partly psychological. That was a cognitive breakdown, psychological. I mean, the body shut down because of the mind. He just didn't go under the bar. We mentioned this, I think, in an earlier session. The clean can be very intimidating. You're lifting a heavy weight, and you've got to go under, and you think, you know what, I might get crushed by this. In fact, chances are at worst you'll break a wrist if things go awry, but your mind runs amok with the possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, sort of people talk about dangerous sports, but this sport can be a dangerous sport. Oh,
see, I was shaking my head. I think gymnastics statistically, for example, has far more injuries, but these are maybe more exciting or dramatic because there's large amounts of weight involved. We saw the dislocated arm last night, guys in a lot of pain, and as you pointed out, it was set in the back room. Or it happens very commonly. I think Dr. Shahabi's record of 25 or whatever he's done, those might all be from the back room. And sometimes we hear the yelp or the scream, but
the advantage is if you can pop it back straight away.
It's right away, and it's not that complicated, evidently. Volunteers?
So Mr. Ibrahimi has got his 3rd attempt now. He's sitting on a total of 374, so all is not lost for the evening. But as you said in the first half of the competition, he's 28 years of age, and he doesn't seem to be showing any signs of really moving forward. Okay, he's got 374. This lift, if he makes it, would improve his performance in terms of kilos from last year when he finished 9th in Goyang. But it's not anything significant, nothing to shout about.
Didn't mean to interrupt. Here's that modified dive start. We're not going to see much of that, and that's where people will say, somewhat facetiously, got his sports mixed up, thought he was powerlifting because all he did was deadlift. He just got psyched out by it, and it can happen. And it can happen to the greatest lifter to just basically choke at that moment, and that's where it'll happen, where you've got to get your body under the bar. He's a guy who told me once, in fact, when he was a little boy, he saw weightlifting on TV, and he said, I knew then that was what I wanted to do. He said, I get chills when I watched weightlifting.
So Damanov, well, it's perfectly clear that the younger of the two Russians is the headliner tonight, because Damanov, pretty disappointing. He was 5th in the world at 171 last year, 175, so a little bit better, but too many failures, and 212 would be better than last year, but he's not going to make up the deficit.
Yeah, you know, this is going to sound really harsh, but I think as a junior, maybe there were great hopes for him, and maybe it's like the child actor, you know, who can't make the transition, and a lot of pressure in Russia because there's a lot of talent in the weightlifting world in Russia. You've got to be really excellent.
You know, traditionally he's a sort of mid 380s guy, 385, 386.
Because he breaks down here in the clean and jerk, and the jerk is really the critical element for him. Nice clean. Yeah, see, the elbows are already starting to move around a little bit. I think it's going to be a good lift, but, you know, it wasn't rock solid. Do you think so, too? I mean, there's a little wiggle in there. Yeah. But he's on the board. Good for him. I think that left arm's, you know, moving a little, in my opinion, at the elbow region, but I'm not a referee.
Benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, you know, and sometimes, you know, it could be shoulder movement or something, or they think it's incidental. So, or they like him.
Artem Ivanov, 212 on the bar.
This guy's really fit. You can see his abs through his singlet.
On 390, same as Vladimir Sedov, but this would take him into the lead in the total and second in the clean and jerk.
Yep, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right, David. Yep, going to the right. You know, we have Anatoly Pizarenko sitting front and center in the VIP section. Of course, tremendous lifter in his time, super heavyweight and benefactor to the Ukrainian weightlifting team, and he was applauding as loudly as anyone. And the guy probably knows you better lift well with Anatoly watching him.
Absolutely, and both Damanov and Ivanov have now gone past Zyrov of Azerbaijan, who had that 211 kilos earlier in the day.
It's kind of interesting. You don't often see a lifter just move literally sideways. Watch this now. His feet can just literally go sideways to adjust to get under the bar correctly, waiting for the down signal.
So now the other Ivanov, the man who's already got a gold medal, the 21-year-old Russian, and this is his first attempt, 213 kilos on the bar. Comes from Krasnodar in Russia, in the south. And so far, so good. This is for 4 out of 4, but it's most importantly to maintain his command of the competition.
Boy,
strong jerk.
Yeah, nice, solid performance. You know, I wonder if they're managing him in a very conservative way tonight, going for this win. You know, they didn't go for the world record in the snatch. And what happened? They got 3 good snatches in, positive momentum, and a nice, solid lift in the clean and jerk.
They want to build the confidence, keep this guy in one piece,
right?
Take him step by step, 2 years to London 2012.
Right. What
we're seeing here is reality of all those junior world performances.
Absolutely.
So Ivanov goes into the lead both in the clean and jerk and in the overall. Now the total 398. And just to put that in perspective for you, Takashvili's total world record 412.
A frightening number in this bodyweight class.
Yeah, but you know, 398 is getting into...
It's pretty good. Anything over 400 is big time.
Exactly. Yeah, when I look at the past men winners on this in the 94 kilo, how many of them actually did over 400? Well, Kakashvili's did it on a couple of occasions. Bagheri, Khurush did it. Milan Dobrev of Bulgaria, 405. Pashayev, 401. And Sedov last year, 402. But he could be joining that rank, Alexander Ivanov. Now, Kasabiev opening here at 2:15 to put himself back in this event. 2:15 takes him up to 390, and on a first attempt would put him back in with a shout of an overall medal.
Boy, you know, it was really looking good up to that point. He did 223 at the 2008 Olympics, I believe, and they rolled the dice. They went for the 231 that I think they needed for the win and didn't succeed. There's a bit of a tradition with his coach and with his coach in this bodyweight class to have that last lift really be a big one. That's how Kakashvili won the 92 Olympics. And didn't pay off here, and not quite a top form, maybe.
Now, Kalancia, this is his forte. So Kalancia, 215 kilos. This is his opening attempt. And that's up 3 kilos from his announced opener at 212.
Boy, he was fighting for that, didn't you think, David? Just looking, you know, how he stood up, and I thought he was going to start the jerk with his feet not in a line, almost not really staggering, but working to walk around with the weight.
He's so unpredictable these days that you're really not quite sure what sort of Kalancia is going to turn up on the platform.
Yeah, here's a replay of Arsen Kasabiev. Not Kalancia, but that was his missed opener.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes Kalancia. Okay, nice lift.
And a very good evening to everybody in Eurosport World. Thank you for joining Randy Strossen and myself, David Goldstrom. We're halfway through the clean and jerk competition here, the 94 kilos, and very much Russia and Ukraine leading the way at the moment, as Kasabiev, formerly of Georgia, now Poland, comes onto the stage for a second attempt at 215. Now, he wasn't a million miles away from the first one. Certainly this is a weight that he can handle.
Poland needs some team points too. I mean, this is for garnering slots for the next Olympics.
Yeah, but they did well last night, picked up a victory in the 85 kilos.
One they probably hadn't counted on, so maybe it's you know, a wash.
Yeah, Adrian Zielinski.
Right, yeah.
Very deep split, but this time he's managed it.
Yeah, good lift, came back. You know, you don't want to have to repeat a lift, but if you do, you certainly would like to have a success, which he did. So missed 215, came back and made it.
Weighed in,
a respectable weight.
Yeah, weighed in at 93.21, so lighter by a whisker than Kalancia at 93.23. So Kasabiev in the clean and jerk goes into gold. Kalancia drops to silver. Alexander Ivanov to bronze, because he's only got 213, and he still has a couple of attempts.
I don't know if everyone noticed this, but he brings his rear foot forward first as he's recovering from the jerk. A lot of lifters will say it's better to push back with the front leg, helps to lock the bar out overhead. Obviously this worked for him.
Well, we're getting to the stage of the competition now where the tactics really come in, and Vladimir Sedov is the next man on stage, the defending world champion. intriguing situation here because he's going for a 7-kilo increase, which is going to take him up to 397 in his quest to defend the title.
So they're going for a pretty big number. You know, Alexei Nee told me last year at the Worlds, basically Ilya Ilyin cannot relax with this guy, you know, there. He should be looking at his rearview mirror pretty soon. This guy is watching Ilya in the rearview mirror.
Well, this would take him up from 5th overall into silver behind Alexander Ivanov, but ahead of Artem Ivanov. Kazakhstan, second attempt. Well, that's a better clean than the first one.
Well, he's really got this big pop in the second pull, kind of reminds me of Piros Dimas, the way he does that. You can't actually stop. It'd be called hitching. You can't do that, but definitely you can see him shift gears. Very wide position in the start of that jerk. You'll see it slide his hands out when he rocks the bar, I think. There he goes. Boom, he's already all the way out to the snatch marks and misses the jerk right here.
Well, he should have the strength based on what he did last year, but that was 12 months ago, and the title is just disappearing away from him at the moment. So Artem Ivanov on 397, and this is 5 kilos up, so this is to regain the lead, but it's also to take him over 400 kilos. So this would be to 402. The mark by which this championship was won a year ago in Korea. Power jerk for a third time and the step to the side, but I think he's got it, and 3 white lights coming his way and regains the advantage here. So Ukraine go to the top of the leaderboard, building all the time to 17, leads in the clean and jerk, leads in the overall 402, but he's finished his lifting. His destiny now in the hands of others. Kasabiev with 1 to come, Kalanchia with a couple to come, Alexander Ivanov with 2 attempts left, Demanov with a couple, and also Pogosyan with a couple to go. So this is far from over. So on the stage, Sedov, 217 kilos for the last attempt here, Sedov. And this is crucial because it would take him up into a contending position. 397 would take him into overall bronze. Not to be, and the champion of 2009 finds himself left and anchored down in 5th place overall, and as far as the clean and jerk is concerned, down in 9th place. Only 180 in the first half of the competition, the snatch phase, so a consolation for his evening, and it is a consolation, but only that, a bronze medal for the man who took the gold in Korea a year ago. So Demanov now, the second of the 2 Russians, second in terms of the ranking position at the moment. His teammate Alexander Ivanov currently 2nd overall. Demanov now, this is 6 kilos up now. This would lift him to 393 and again would take him from 6th into the bronze medal position and the lead in the clean and jerk, of course. 5th in the world a year ago. He's to get that leg in line, and that's much better. Well, this man at last year's Worlds and last year's Europeans only managed 2 good attempts. And in the snatch phase, he got 2 solid efforts in the clean and jerk. Now Damanov improving, so he's got 4 good lifts out of 5, so very different this year, and that's why he's putting himself back into contention. So at the moment it's Artem Ivanov with 4:02, Alexander Ivanov with 3:98, Andrei Demonov of Russia on 3:93, and this is Alexander Ivanov trying to regain the lead. 5 kilo increase would take him to 4:03, a kilo ahead of Artem Ivanov, who has finished his lifting. Great clean. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And David Riggott on the right of your picture there, he's really got a star in the making here. 4:03, 5 out of 5 for the 21-year-old Russian from Krasnodar. And this is another name to put in your notebook for London 2012. They've been very steady with him in the junior ranks. They haven't brought him forward in a rush, and they're making progress in this championship in very measured terms. They're not being extravagant, they're just getting the job done that needs to be done, and he has a kilo advantage. In the clean and jerk, in the lead by virtue of lighter body weight over Andrei Damanov of Russia. It's Russia 1 and 2 in the clean and jerk, and now Pogosyan, and this is a 10 kilo increase. Only his 2nd attempt, but the European champion at 85 kilos this season, looking to pull himself up from 380 to 390. But of course, if he does this at 220, then he goes into the clean and jerk gold medal position. So big moment this for the newcomer to this 94 kilo class. Oh, he's used an awful lot of energy doing this. No. Was it a little close to the windpipe? Whatever. Didn't have the strength. It wasn't the economical clean that he needed. And if he wanted to really get into the big time, maybe snatch an overall medal, he definitely needed this. Still has 1 attempt though to go for clean and jerk medals. And Kalancia now of Romania, currently in 4th place overall, and this is a 5 kilo increase, so this would take him back into the overall medals at 397. It would take him into the lead in the clean and jerk. The world champion of 2003. His big day in the world of weightlifting when he was an 85 kilo lifter. Really fought for that. He's fighting all the lifts that he's making. Or I should say fighting for all the lifts that he's making, but he's making them, which is the really good news for him and Romania. Nicu Vlad, the president of the Romanian Weightlifting Federation, just in front of us, and watching his man at 29 years of age still pull out the goods. Now Pogosyan. Now Pogosyan on 210 at the moment in the clean and jerk, weighed in at 92.89. He's lighter. 92.89. He's lighter than Kalancia, so this is to take him into the lead in the goal in the clean and jerk. Not to be. So maybe in time. but the Armenian challenge peters out. And now we're left with Arsen Kasabiev of Poland, who's currently in 5th place in the clean and jerk. He's got 390 kilos. He has 1 attempt left. Damanov of Russia has 1. Alexander Ivanov has 1. Kalanshia has 1. 4 lifts to go to decide the 94 kilo weightlifting championship of the world, and Kasabiev it is to go first. 222, 7 kilos the increase here, which would take him from 390 up to 397. Kasabiev weighing in at 93.21, Kalanshia 93.23, so they reckon if he makes this, he'll hang on by virtue of lighter body weight to the overall bronze at the moment. But of course, 222 would be first place in the clean and jerk, so huge opportunity. But sadly, one he couldn't realise, and he stays on 390. This was the man who finished 4th when he represented Georgia in Beijing in the Olympic Games on 399. He missed out on the bronze medal there by 3 kilos to Akayev of Russia. And as a result of that failure, Kasabiev down in 5th place in the clean and jerk, and in the overall also in 5th at the moment. So Damanov, who's having a much better competition and clearly enjoying the clean and jerk much more than the snatch phase, going for 223 now. Now Damanov, this is a 5 kilo increase, so this is to take him to 398, which is a kilo ahead of Kalanshia, who's currently in the overall bronze medal position. But Kalanshia still with 1 lift to come. So 223 is what he reckons he can manage. Really good effort, but the bar just too heavy, and Damanov staying on 218 in the clean and jerk. He's currently in the bronze medal position in that particular division. Overall, I'm afraid Damanov off the medal podium in 4th place at the moment. So the men who've got lifts left, Kalanshia and Ivanov, Alexander Ivanov in the lead and ahead of Kalanshia by 5 kilos. And the lighter man, and Alexander Ivanov odds on to take this 94 kilo championship. Kalanshia just looking now to see what he needs to take, but Ivanov piling on the kilos here to try and slam the door in Kalanshia's face. 403, Alexander Ivanov. Artem Ivanov of the Ukraine, 402. Kalanshia, 397 with 1 to come. So at 225, this is a 7 kilo increase. This is for 410, and 410 is only 2 kilos off the total world record. Well, it was the 6th attempt. He's still in the lead, and that's perhaps given Kalanshia an outside chance. Now, Kalanshia is at the moment 6 kilos behind, but he's heavier, which means it would have to be 7 kilos up. Now, that means he needs 227 by my reckoning. Well, it's on 226 now. Just having a look at this. Ivanov on 403, Kalanshia 397, that's 6 kilos difference. He had 220. but he's heavier at 93.23. So this is second in the total. He's going for the clean and jerk gold. 7 kilos would have given him the overall. Either they didn't work it out or they think this is as far as he can go. Well, it was probably the right assessment, but as it is, the 94 kilo championship goes to Alexander Ivanov of Russia, ahead of Artem Ivanov of the Ukraine, with Valeriu Calancia of Romania getting the overall bronze medal. And that's a heartening performance for the Romanian, who's not had the best of fortunes in recent years in the World Championships. And as Calancia goes off, just to emphasize that point, he didn't total in Chiang Mai in 2007. He didn't total in Goyang in 2009. And he's come back at the age of 29. And I'm pretty impressed with this. He's come back at the age of 29 and got himself a bronze medal. And he's really gutsed out every attempt. He didn't make the last one, but he's really fought for everything tonight.
Yeah, he got shot out of the back on that. Might have had an elbow touch on the right elbow, right knee. Basically got shot out the back, but that means he went for that weight. And yeah, good for him. We'll watch from in London, huh? The way he's going.
Well, not so sure, but we're here on the clean and jerks. You can see Calancia, who in 220, and he takes the clean and jerk gold. Ivanov of Russia, he gets the silver medal and takes it by virtue of body weight, lighter body weight over his teammate Damanov, who certainly was much better in the second half of the competition. And then in fourth place, Artem Ivanov of the Ukraine, who lifted pretty well, I have to say, this evening. As you look further down the list, and also just to mention Kim Min Yai, who bombed out in the first half, obviously mentally not up to coming out and trying clean and jerk.
Yeah, you think they pulled them out, those thinking, well, we're not going to get team points, save them.
And here's the overall confirmation. Alexander Ivanov